What up, YouTube? LTH coming at you with a video. 713 to buy your sitting win here. And yep, this is victory Monday number 3 for Houston. Though it was an ugly win yesterday, but Houston did find a way to improve to 3-1 thanks to a game-winning drive led by Stroud. Though, even with that game-winning drive, still things that got to be fixed. But before I talk about it, gotta talk about the good though. Stroud, had himself another productive day. Even though he could have had at least one more TD had he not overthrew Collins in that red zone. The Texans as a team rushed for 101 yards. And yeah, I get it. They was missing Tank Dill and Joe Mixon. And Tunsil went down, but he did come back in the game. But man, it didn't erase that the Texans once again endured another week of double-digit penalties, as many as 12 in the last 3 weeks. Yes, they still look pretty undisciplined on both sides of the ball, and the defense was tested for sure. Gave up a 58-yard run to Tank Bigsby. Though Caleb Bullock made a TD saving tackle, let's take that away. Jacksonville was scored. And just like, Trevor Lawrence, he had some accurate balls, but they were missed, which bailed the Texans secondary out because had Trevor was able to make them throws, he would torch the secondary once again. And yeah, Kamari Lassiter was getting pretty beat up. And Jalen Preacher was in the rest of the DBs were having a little hard time keeping up with Christian Kirk. Like I said, defense, was tested today. They had their moments. Not the brightest of bright performances. And they did only get 1 sack, and that was from Eric Murray of all people. Eric freaking Murray, got a sack on Trevor. And Stingley almost had him a pick too, had he able to corral it. And yeah, they got a lot to clean up, including that muff punt by Steven Sims, which led to Trevor taking advantage to that TD to Brian Thomas Jr., who is nice, by the way. And, had himself a solid game. I can't be mad at the Jaguars defense in that second half, though. They fought to the end. And I feel like they should have won this game. Since the Texans, continuously shoot themselves in the foot with boneheaded penalties. But hey, at the end of the day, Texans ended up winning the game. Stroud had himself a day, his 300-yard passing game for the 5th time. With 2 TDs, should have been 3. Hell, had the Texans found the way to, limit the penalties, they'll score up to about 30-plus points at the least. And Diggs got his first career rushing TD. He had himself a solid day. Did get Cade Stover and Dalton Schultz involved a little bit, but could have done so a little bit more. It was glad to see John Mechie in action. Got his first catch of 2024. But man, I feel like this offense can be, I feel like as a team, this team could be a lot better, if they get out of their own way and stop committing boneheaded penalties. Because those penalties is what kept the Jags in the game when Houston missed an opportunity to put the game away. Same with week 2 against Chicago. And let me throw in week 1 as well when we had an opportunity to put the Colts away. Even at 3-1, they still got a lot of things to fix, including the red zone defense, which is another part of their weakness. Got to get that addressed. And like I say, they just got to find a ways to get out of their own way, because they can't keep continuously shooting themselves in the foot with drive killing penalties, because they do that against Buffalo and with who they play next. Josh Allen and the Bills is gonna, wear them out, hands down. I mean, yeah, the Bills got beat up on Sunday Night Football, but doesn't change the fact that Houston got to correct their own mistakes. Doing a better job of not giving up the big play through the air. Leaving guys wide open. Because in Tunsil, he's got 11 penalties now. 11 penalties. Shaq Mason had him some offsetting penalties as well. I mean, 12 penalties though, completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. I mean, yeah, it's tough winning in the NFL. I get it, but there is no way in hell that this game should not have been close. But hey, it was close though. Won a lot of offense in that second half up until that final drive for that game. When, Stroud threw that ball to Wale for that winning drive. Because, like I say, can't depend on the defense in the Bear to carry the load all the time. When the offense going to have to start doing their thing on a consistent level. Playing better complementary football in a disciplined way. So, yeah, the Texans do win, but the offensive line, needs a fire lit under their asses the most. Because the O-line that Caserio invested in to protect Stroud, it's the same O-line that hasn't, completely jailed right now. So it's going to take a little bit more time gelling, but hey, they can play a little bit more smarter football going forward. This team going to look very promising because this team's way too talented to be overhyped, let alone overrated. Because, again, Bobby Slowick has the weapons, but he's just not up. He's just a little up. Well, he's just up and down and utilizing it right now. Because about to be week 5. And definitely, hopefully most of our key players come back too, including Christian Harris, who started 4 games on IR. Then you got Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, and a few more key players that should be good to go week 5, but only time will tell. So, like I say, the Texans do win this game by a score of 24-20, and they close out September on a winning note, 3-1. Now, would have loved 4-0, but I understand 3-1 for what it is. And since they're now 1 game ahead of Indy, who beat the Steelers despite losing Anthony Richardson to a hip injury. Hope he's all right. But like I say, Houston got some things to correct for sure. But other than that, that's about all I have for this Victory Monday video. Got to utilize the other weapons as well, outside of Collins. So, and yeah, it's unfortunate that the big names didn't report any sacks, such as Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. But like I said, Stingley almost had him picked, but just got to hold on to it. But hey, it is what it is. So, of course, before I conclude this video, gotta shout out Jaguar Man, Jagging Off, and UCF Jaguar. Good game. Looking forward to round 2 come week 13 when they meet again in Duval. So, there you have it. LTH checking on up out of here. 7-13 to Bayou City. Go Houston Texans. I'm out. Peace.